Hi everyone, my name is Angelica and thank you for joining me at the writer's table. Today we're going to be going over finding your individual strengths, quirks, interests, and how to incorporate that into your scenes. So a lot of today is going to be brainstorming, and a lot of what we've done in the past has been really pre-writing, all except for the actual script writing section. We've just been pre-writing and brainstorming, and that's what improv is really all about. It's saying yes and to situations, it's saying yes and to these prompts. What can we do next? So this next one is really special because it talks about who you are as a person, and it really brings out your strengths, and it really makes your scenes your own. Inspiration for coming up with or understanding our individual selves was Tina Fey. And Tina Fey, for those of you who know or don't know, was really big in Second City for her work with feminist projects. So she would write a lot about how women are perceived. All those cool individual aspects of people, even if you look on SNL, everyone's individual traits, everyone's individual skills are what really sets them apart from everyone else. We want to see your story. So this is going to be a lot about that. Here we go. When you're writing out things about yourself, this is really just pre-writing. So it's going to help you come up with a scene idea. It's going to help you come up with characters. It's going to help you come up with morals to the story. So the first thing that we're going to list out things about you, like what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? So I'll write on the top hobbies, and Netflix is a hobby. I like playing video games. I like audiobooks. I like searching random things on the internet. What else do I like? This is hard. Then you can do what have you done as a job in the past. If you don't have an occupation, never had an occupation, guess what's an occupation? Being a student. These are just things that you have experience doing. Talents. So you have hobbies and you have talents. So we have hobbies, we have jobs, we have talents and skills. So why don't we talk about some of your vices, some of the things that you think are weaknesses that you can also bring to the scene. So we got a little bit about ourselves. Let's see what we did. So when you actually write it out, you can write it out like this. And it's just listing, write it or list however you like or whatever is easier for you to write. Again, whenever we're doing anything with writing for improv, it's really just about making it easy for you to understand or to recall what was going on. So that later you can write it down, you can really clean it up and have your final version. But this is just that initial version of whatever you're doing. We went over the hobbies, we went over jobs, we went over talents and skills, and then when we went over weaknesses. Now what? How can we use this in our improv scenes or in our sketch writing? So maybe your hobby of watching Netflix is going to help you write that parody because you know you like Netflix. Okay, I can't come up with anything right now, but let me look back at my watch list and I'll remix one of the shows that I've watched and make it into something interesting and fun. What you find interesting could really be something cool and big. So jobs are really cool because this is something that people really relate to. Think about the show The Office. Then you go into talents and skills. So there's something called talent scenes. So Second City uses talent scenes a lot, and what it does is it can help break up the review of the show. So an improv show is usually called a review, full-fledged, and that's going to be different improv scenes, different sketched out scenes, different talent scenes. And the talent scenes can be simply someone doing an improvised dance, doing a rehearsed dance, doing a song, playing an instrument, whatever they know how to do that's not necessarily a scene or improv, that's a talent scene. So if I knew how to do balloons, I could on stage bring up balloons and make a sculpture and hand it off to someone. Or a sculpture is pretty big. I can just make a bouquet, put some balloons on a string, and hand it to my audience members. And that's cool, and it's something that people could take home too. So what's your talent that you can bring to the stage for like 5 minutes? Then swimming, I can write a scene about swimming and that talent and that knowledge. Grid drawing, I could draw live on stage or paint live on stage, which I've seen before, which is really cool. Then improvising and writing, we can mock that a little bit, play that up. Like, what are some things that writers do? What are some things that improvisers do that like are funny, aren't funny? Then weaknesses. So weaknesses are really cool because, you know, you get to talk about some things that you're uncomfortable with, and usually the things that you're uncomfortable with make a scene really interesting because other people can relate and you wouldn't really know it because you try to hold back your weaknesses and really not present it to the general public because it's something that you don't like about yourself generally. So find those things about yourself and pull them out because they're just as interesting as these other things on your list. Thank you guys for joining me during this writer's table. I really like this one because it works to draw out who you are as a person, who you are as a writer, who you are as an improviser, and it helps, or it helped me when I learned this concept at least, understand the value that you hold as a complete human being. And it's really hard to see sometimes, and a lot of the time when we're on stage, and the reason I love improv is because, or how I got into improv is because I was really anxious as a kid, and I'm still anxious, and I hold on to a lot of those anxieties. So doing exercises like this helped me understand, like, hey, it's cool to have this because it helps people laugh too, and other people can connect to it. You just have to open up and show those people what's going on. So if you guys want, it's a really personal exercise that I showed you. You can show us what you've done, tag us. If you want to write up a character, or if you want to write up a scene based off of the things that you've come up with, show us what you guys have come up with. We really want to see what you guys have done. I'm really, really excited, especially because this is one of my favorite things. So what's different, what's original to you? Let's see it. Thanks for joining me at the writer's table. I hope to see you next week.